Shout out all Urban Central, yeah, this put up Future Hitters. Love to my hometown, Atlanta. Gotcha.
Curtis, what's good, man? You and your feelings about Daphne? Is she would gang them? Or is it that you sucking little rod? However it go, I want you to fade. For all that. Since it's entertainment, let me beat the shit out of you on TV or something. Don't duck that. I'm calling you out. What you want to do, Curtis? Curtis! What's up, everybody? Another great workout today. Staying in shape, staying inspired. Inspiring myself. You know what I'm saying? First thing you gotta do is inspire yourself. Without inspiration from within, you know what I'm saying? That self-love.
You are definitely going to want to hear about this absolute chaos erupting between 50 Cent, Stevie J, and Diddy. Seriously, forget the usual celeb gossip. This is like a deep-rooted drama. There's a ton of history, some really surprising claims flying around. It's a lot.
It really is. And what's wild is seeing these tensions, you know, some that have been simmering for ages, just suddenly boil over so publicly.
Right.
It makes you think we're probably only scratching the surface here. It's got to be more to it.
Totally. It seemed to properly kick off when 50 went on Instagram, like directly targeting Stevie J, specifically about how close he suddenly seems to be with Diddy again.
Ah, yeah. Classic 50 move, right? Super direct, doesn't pull any punches.
Exactly. And the internet, well, it just exploded, obviously.
It's fascinating, isn't it, how fame and these really intense, sometimes messy relationships just get amplified into the social media spotlight.
Yeah, it's like a performance on this huge stage.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's unpack this a bit. 50 Cent and Stevie J. I mean, they've run in the same circles for years, right? Music industry's not that big.
For sure. They've been around each other. But yeah, the feeling was never exactly warm and fuzzy, was it?
No, not really. It always seemed like there was this undercurrent, some kind of friction, maybe not always spoken, but kind of there.
Well, you see that a lot in the industry, especially back then. These complex webs of alliances, rivalries, it all shifts constantly.
Yeah.
You know, shared history can bond people, but it can also, well, breed resentment.
And speaking of history, Stevie J and Diddy, that connection goes way, way back. We're talking the Bad Boy Records days. Peak Diddy influence.
Oh yeah, the foundational years. But it wasn't all smooth sailing even then.
Apparently not. Word is there was a pretty big falling out. Something about producer credits.
And that, in the music business, that's like hitting a nerve. Credits everything.
Seriously sensitive stuff.
Yeah.
So that fallout apparently led to Stevie J keeping his distance for a while.
Yeah, those early disagreements, especially about recognition and money, they can leave long-lasting marks. It really shows how tangled the business side and the personal side get in creative fields.
But then, more recently, it looked like they patched things up. Their friendship seemed to rekindle, especially after Stevie J got that second win with Love and Hip Hop.
Right, and it seems like that renews closeness is maybe what really got under 50 Cent's skin this time.
That's the impression, yeah.
Makes you wonder, though, what brought them back together? Was it just, you know, finding success again, or were there other things happening we just don't see?
Good question. Because 50 Cent, he hasn't been holding back with the accusations. Not at all subtle.
No.
He's pretty much putting it out there that Stevie J is being, like, completely played. Used as a pawn in whatever game Diddy's supposedly up to.
Which is a strong claim. I mean, questioning someone's agency like that in public, that's a power move.
Definitely.
By saying he's being manipulated, 50's not just throwing shade, he's actively trying to knock Stevie J down a peg, damage his credibility.
And then, okay, this is where the story just takes a massive left turn into some really wild territory.
Oh.
There are these super explosive allegations making the rounds now, coming from like a YouTube video transcript that talks about a lawsuit.
That lawsuit.
Yeah, and this lawsuit apparently claims that Diddy allegedly forced someone to watch a video that supposedly showed Stevie J with another man.
Whoa, okay, that's a huge escalation. But hang on, are these claims verified at all?
Well, that's the thing. The person in the video transcript even says they weren't totally sure if the video was legit. They mentioned the pictures were kind of blurry and that some exotic worker denied being involved.
So pretty shaky ground in terms of proof for the video itself.
Right. But the point being made was that despite those doubts, this specific allegation was apparently included in a legal filing.
Okay, gotcha. So even if the video's authenticity is questionable, the fact that the claim ended up in court documents suggests someone thought it was important for their case.
Exactly. Someone was pushing a certain narrative using that specific angle.
Right. trying to leverage it.
But wait, there's more to this story from the transcript. It shares this anecdote about some young guy who apparently really admired Stevie J, looked up to him.
Okay.
Allegedly, Diddy showed this kid the video, saying, "Look, this is Stevie J." The speaker even pointed out that the person in the video had, similar facial features.
Wow. If that actually happened, that suggests a really deliberate attempt to poison someone's view of Stevie J.
Yeah, to mess with his image on a really personal level raises big questions about motives, right? And how far people might go.
Seriously. That's pretty dark if true.
Now, the person who's talking in this YouTube video, they actually claim to have some real history with Stevie J.
Oh.
Yeah, they said they were his bodyguard way back in the day, specifically right after that first big fallout with Diddy during the Bad Boy stuff.
Okay, so they were potentially right there, seeing some of that early tension play out firsthand.
Seems like it. That kind of personal connection, it does give their perspective a different weight, doesn't it? They'd have insights of someone just reading headlines wouldn't.
For sure. Adds another layer of context to the whole Diddy-Stevie dynamic from back then.
So obviously, with allegations like that video claim floating around, the whole question of Stevie J's sexuality comes up.
Inevitable, I guess.
The speaker in the video kind of touches on it. They mention this old saying, something like, "If two men lay down, two homos get up."
Okay.
But then they immediately walk it back, saying, "Look, I don't actually know his orientation." But then they throw in this comment about cocaine being a hell of a drug.
Woof. That's loaded.
Right. It just hangs there.
Yeah, it's like acknowledging the rumors without actually confirming anything about his private life.
Yeah.
But bringing substance use into it. It almost suggests, maybe that's a factor in the alleged behavior, or at least how it's perceived.
It's a way of hinting at something without saying it directly.
Exactly. Very suggestive.
Okay, here's another incredibly specific detail from that video. This one kind of stopped me. Apparently, Stevie J was actually present the night Biggie Smalls was killed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really? I hadn't heard that detail widely circulated.
Me neither. And the story goes, right after it happened, he rushed over to Faith Evans' hotel room.
Intense.
But the really striking part, he was supposedly wearing the speaker's cross and chain when he went there.
That paints such a vivid picture, doesn't it? The chaos, the trauma of that moment. Wearing someone else's chain and cross, it speaks volumes about the connections and maybe the vulnerability in that circle.
Totally. And get this twist, the speaker claims Stevie J gave them $1,500 for the chain later, but never paid for the cross.
A little financial detail amidst the tragedy.
And that cross, apparently Faith eventually gave it to Christopher Wallace, Biggie's son.
Wow. It's, poignant. A small detail, but it connects everything back in a very human way. It's kind of surreal.
Right. Okay, let's shift gears slightly. Remember that video that went viral? Diddy and Stevie J spotted together in Miami right after the news broke about Diddy's properties being raided.
Oh yeah, that definitely got people talking.
The speaker in that YouTube video, they said they were genuinely shocked to see Stevie J out there basically publicly defending Diddy, especially given, all their past beef.
It was noteworthy, considering the history we just talked about, that public show of support. It makes you wonder, is it a real reconciliation? A strategic move? Or something else entirely behind the curtain?
Hard to say. The speaker in the video, though, they didn't mince words about their opinion of Stevie J's character.
Oh, really?
Yeah, brought up his public image, past struggles with drugs, those allegations about how he's treated women. It was a pretty critical take.
Well, that's the thing with public figures, right? Their past actions, the narrative's already out there. They all color how people see them in new situations like this.
Yeah.
Everything gets re-examined.
Definitely. Now, circling back to 50 Cent stirring the pot on social media.
Always entertaining, if nothing else.
Right. It wasn't just about the Diddy connection. He actually started clowning Stevie J's fashion sense.
Get out. Really?
Yeah. Saying he dresses terribly, needs a whole new style. Just classic online trolling, really. Petty, but it gets attention.
That's such a classic move in these public spats, isn't it?
Yeah.
Try to diminish the other person, make them look foolish, get a laugh at their expense, rally the troops through mockery.
Totally. And the video transcript also mentioned those rumors about potential drug use involving both Diddy and Stevie J. It specifically pointed to 50 Cent's posts using those cryptic phrases like liquid cocaine and shake bomb.
Right, those vague references. Even without solid proof, dropping hints like that just feeds into a narrative, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Suggests instability, erratic behavior, fuels speculation.
Adds fuel to the fire for sure. And then Okay, get ready for this one. Apparently, Stevie J allegedly challenged 50 Cent to a fight.
Wait, Stevie J challenged 50 Cent. Seriously?
That's what the video claims. The speaker was like totally baffled. They brought up Stevie J's history on reality TV, you know, getting into physical scraps there.
Yeah, we've seen those moments.
But then contrasted it sharply with 50 Cent's reputation, which is, let's be honest, not someone you generally pick a fight with.
That's a really important contrast to draw. Reality TV drama is one thing, maybe heightened for the cameras. But 50 Cent, he's cultivated this whole persona of, well, toughness, not backing down.
Exactly. The speaker even threw in a quick personal story, saying they'd seen 50 ready for confrontation firsthand, basically saying he's not playing around.
Those personal stories, even if just anecdotes, they land powerfully, don't they? They shape how you perceive someone's willingness to actually throw down.
And adding to that, the video mentioned 50 apparently has tapes of himself, like boxing. Getting down boxing was the phrase.
Oh, interesting. So maybe not just reputation, but potential receipts of his skills. That could definitely be a deterrent.
You'd think so. Now, what's also kind of telling is how relatively quiet both Stevie J and Diddy have been since 50 first unleashed all this.
Yeah, that silence is noticeable.
It makes you wonder, right? What's happening behind the scenes? Are they just trying to ride it out, hope it blows over? Or is there some serious drama playing out privately?
Silence is tricky. It could be strategic, like don't engage, don't give it oxygen. Or it could mean they're scrambling, having discussions, maybe even disagreements we're not privy to.
You also have to think about the potential damage here. If this keeps escalating, what does it do to their careers, their brands? Public image is currency in their world.
Absolutely. Long-term negative attention, especially with serious allegations mixed in, can definitely hurt reputations. Could impact deals, opportunities down the line.
And just when you thought maybe it was quieting down, Stevie J pops up with an Instagram video.
Oh boy, what now?
He claims 50 Cent said Stevie owes him money. Which Stevie completely denies, by the way. It's like, boom, another layer added.
Wow. Okay, so now we've got a financial dispute thrown into this already messy pot of history and allegations.
Exactly. And the story Stevie tells about this supposed debt is kind of amazing. He talks about being at a casino with 50 years ago, holding a bag of money for him, and then later being accused of $3,000 going missing from the bag. It's such a specific, almost bizarre anecdote. Classic he said, he said.
Right. And telling that specific story, whether it's perfectly accurate or not, is clearly meant to paint a picture, right?
Yeah.
To counter 50's narrative. It's all part of the public back and forth.
Definitely felt like damage control or image management. In that same Instagram response, Stevie also made sure to list off all his current projects.
The resume defense.
Totally. Dropping names like Power, Stars, BMF, mentioning Sony Crackle, his project with Isaac Wright Jr. on ABC. Oh, and he randomly threw in something about selling the Knicks.
Selling the Knicks. Okay, that's ambitious.
Right. It felt like a flex, trying to shift the focus. Like, look at all the successful things I'm doing. I'm not bothered by this.
Could definitely be read that way. Remind people of his professional achievements, project success, and stability. Maybe try to seem above the fray. The Knicks comment, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like pure boasting. Trying to show he's still got juice.
So, yeah, that's where we are. Another celebrity feud that just keeps unfolding layer after layer. It feels impossible to guess what bombshell might drop next.
That's what keeps people hooked on these things, isn't it? The unpredictability, the constant cycle of claims, denials, potential counterattacks. It's real-life soap opera stuff.
Totally. Okay, so let's just quickly recap this whole deep dive. We started with 50 Cent's big Instagram call out, right?
Yeah.
Which kind of ripped the lid off all this underlying history and tension between Stevie J and Diddy.
Decades of stuff bubbling up.
Then we got into those really explosive allegations from that YouTube transcript, especially the claims mentioned in the lawsuit about that alleged video. Super intense.
Yeah, and the conflicting accounts around that, the denials, the uncertainty, but the claim itself being out there.
Right. And we've touched on the reactions, or in some cases, the lack of reaction from the main players so far. Stevie's denial about the money, Diddy's relative silence.
It's a tangled web, really, fueled by old grudges, new accusations, and the constant spotlight of social media turning private disputes very public.
And it feels pretty safe to say this story isn't over yet, not by a long shot. We're probably going to see more twists, more turns, maybe some resolution eventually, or maybe it just festers.
Given the personalities involved and how public it's all become, yeah, it's hard to see it just fizzling out quietly. Too many unresolved threads, too much potential for things to escalate further.
So as we wrap this up, here's something for you to chew on. When you see this level of public drama, these kinds of intense personal allegations playing out, what does it really signal about the entertainment industry itself?
Yeah, about the relationships, the pressures, the power dynamics within it.
Exactly. Think about the motivations behind these public callouts, the defenses, the silence, and what are the real stakes, the potential consequences for everyone caught up in this. It's definitely more than just celebrity gossip when you dig into it.
It's a glimpse into a world that's usually pretty carefully curated and hidden from view. Makes you think.